Hello, this is Brett from Survivalcomms, and today we're going to build a offset attenuator, and this is where it came from, Third Planet Solar KC9ON Fox Hunt offset attenuator. And these are all the parts, and one thing that's nice about this kit is they've labeled all the components for us ahead of time. I just built a two-tone generator, an Elecraft kit, and that kit, all the stuff was just thrown into a bag and you had to sort out all the parts. So this makes it a lot easier, and it shouldn't take maybe a half an hour to build this kit soup to nuts. Now, an offset attenuator, many are going to ask what that is. It's nothing more than a 4 megahertz variable RF generator, and what it does is it goes between the antenna and your receiver. You offset the receiver sensitivity or the receiver tuning by 4 megahertz, and then use the potentiometer here to control the amount of RF going into the receiver. Now, the purpose of this is when you're coming close to a signal, like you're looking for a hidden transmitter or something of that nature, a lot of times the RF can basically penetrate the chassis of the radio even when you remove the antenna, and sometimes so much more so that even, using your body as an attenuator doesn't really provide you with a lot of effectiveness for pinpointing a very small transmitter. And the instructions are pretty well written out. I've printed out the instructions, which of course I just have a black and white printer, so a lot of the imagery isn't quite as good, but I'm old. I prefer to have stuff printed out than to have stuff on a computer screen. So the first item we're going to mount is a resistor, which is resistor R4, which is 4.7 k ohm. And again, they've already marked all this stuff for you. So go ahead and remove that resistor from our package. And I am going to use an LCR meter to determine the value of the components, just as a check before I start to make everything go nuts. And your circuit board edge right here, if you bend your component like that, that basically is the exact amount of bend you're going to need to install this in your board. So what we do with this right here is we'll go ahead and set it for resistance, and I just plop it in here and it's going to tell me exactly what the value is right here, 4.7k. So we're good to go there. And we just find R4 on our board, which is going to be on our silk screen side here, and we insert that into our board. Now, I'm not going to make you guys sit through and watch me do every one of these, but I prefer to flux and flow whenever I build just about anything. So I just put a little bit of flux on the leads here. Then I'll take my iron and just tin my iron, put my visor down here. And then what I'll do is I will just basically place this up against there, and the solder will flow into my connection. Just like that. And we have a good connection. You can see where our solder has flowed into our joints on the other side of the board. Trim our leads off, and that component is installed. Now we're going to install our large terminal blocks. It's important to make sure that you keep the terminal blocks, the screws, to the outside of the board. And you'll also see there's a couple of these little dovetails here. There's a dovetail on this side and a notch on this side, and what you want to do is you want to bring these two together just like that, and go ahead and attach those to your board. Now these are a little bit larger, so I'm going to go ahead and use some thicker solder, and you're going to take a little more time to let it flow into your joint. And I work from the outside of both to the inside. Now we're going to install our 10K potentiometer. And that's going to go to the outside like this right here. And again, this is one of those ones to where you're going to want to hold it in place. And I'm going to drop it right here, and it should wick right in just fine. Just like that. And our number 3. Just like that. And we're perfectly perpendicular. And in 1/2 hour, we have completed our kit. I'm going to go ahead and clean this side of all that flux and everything with just an alcohol prep pad. And you can see all of our components are installed. Well, we've got our project housed, and you can see that we've got our LED here, our potentiometer, and our power switch. And the 9-volt battery is not going to fit inside of this housing. So I do have a clip that I could attach it to the outside. But instead of doing that, I went ahead and elected to test out this 23A, or I've always called them A23 batteries. And these are like for key remotes. I have a little small preamplified HF antenna that uses these in the preamplifier. So I thought we'll give it a shot. I've run the device on 12 volts of power, and it seems to work okay. But we're going to go ahead and test out all that stuff, and we'll see just how long this battery lasts in this particular device. So let's demonstrate the theory of operation of the offset attenuator. And I think it's a lot easier to use a spectrum analyzer than it is a radio receiver to demonstrate this on the bench for you. We're going to go ahead and turn on our low power transmitter, and this low power transmitter is like 5/100ths of a watt. And you can see the signal strength here, and there's no antenna on this device at this time, and it's like minus 65 decibel milliwatts. We can reduce that by about 10 dB just with my fingers. So you can see that if we had a antenna on this device, that our signal strength would be much greater. And this is what limits the ability to ascertain direction of a signal, even with a very good direction finding antenna in the near field. So enter the offset attenuator. So when we go ahead and power it up, you're going to see this little spike over here. This little spike here, over here, represents the output of this device, and it's 4 megahertz higher than the fundamental frequency we're working with here. So what we're going to do is we're going to totally cut this out by shifting the tuning of the receiver. So if we start this right here and we put it at 149, now we've totally eliminated the fundamental, and all we're left with is our signal that's coming in through our offset attenuator. And you can see that we can adjust our offset attenuator and reduce that signal to where it disappears altogether. And we want to just adjust it so we have just the smallest signal. And then what we can do is use our direction finding antenna to ascertain the location of this low powered transmitter in the near field. Okay, now you can see the frame I've built for my offset attenuator. I just used a sheet of Kydex and cut it out and screwed it with 440 stainless machine screws to our enclosure here, so it's nice and rugged. And I've just got some shock cord that runs through the back of this receiver and one Ranger band on this, and that holds it all together very well. And I built a little jumper to go between here and an RF adapter. Now, the reason why I selected BNC connectors, number one, I like BNC connectors. is that I had planned on placing it on top of a receiver such as my KX99 here that has a BNC on top of it, and it would be very robust in that. But the problem with using BNC to SMA adapters and using those on a receiver such as this is an SMA connector is very easy to fracture. So holding this thing, you're having to hold it like a baby, whereas this right here is a lot more robust. And if I drop this, it's not going to break my RF connector off of my receiver. Now, this receiver here is very functional as far as the amount of frequency range it covers. So like we could turn this on here, and then we turn on our attenuator, and we can see that it's working just fine. We'll go ahead and turn it off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this device outside, and I'm going to demonstrate how this functions. So here's our device ready for testing. We're going to be using one of the loop antennas I made in a previous video as a direction finding antenna. Okay, you can see right now that our signal or our receiver is saturated with signal, and no matter what you do, is not changing the intensity of the signal. So now we enter in the offset attenuator. So the first thing we do is we're going to set our receiver 4 megahertz higher. So we've tuned our receiver to 150/500, and you can see that we need to attenuate the signal. So we do such. Now let's go ahead and here we go. We start to pick up our signal. Then we're off signal, on signal, on signal, or off signal, on signal, off signal, on signal, and off again. An offset attenuator is a pretty cool item to have in your radio tackle box, and as you can see, it helps in that last 100 feet or so of a transmitter hunt. This kit is easy to assemble and works well as shown, and the price of around $15 for the kit is reasonable. I will likely change out the supplied 10K potentiometer for a precision one, as I feel the adjustment is a bit too coarse in this particular one. I can understand why one isn't provided in the kit for cost considerations, but I think that would be a good upgrade. If you stuck around this long, thank you, and I hope this helps. This is Brett from Survivalcomms. Until next time.